What's up everybody, VHE2 here, and I'd like to introduce to you possibly the best Half-Life mod ever, the Half-Life Unified SDK by Belgian modder Solokiller. This custom codebase combines all three major Half-Life campaigns into one mod. This allows you to play all the campaigns, Half-Life, Opposing Force, and Blue Shift without ever having to switch games. It also means that you can play Half-Life and Blue Shift with the Opposing Force weapons. But this mod goes much further than that. Imagine if Valve kept pushing out updates to Half-Life until it was completely polished. Solokiller went above and beyond and fixed more bugs than you ever even knew existed in Half-Life and brought it to a polished state. So before we dive into all the awesome changes and fixes to the gameplay, I want to quickly go over how Solokiller made this happen. This is not some hacked together mess. He overhauled many parts of the Half-Life code and created systems to put the individual pieces of each game in place. The simple but powerful data format JSON is now being utilized to manage the HUD, maps, weapon models, sounds, NPC sentences, and more. Every single map now has an associated JSON file that will be read as the map is being loaded to determine what HUD, weapon models, and other gameplay settings to use. These files can be easily modified by you or a mod creator to use night vision in Half-Life. Have a purple HUD. Or play with blue shift hands in Opposing Force. These features are really exciting to me, and in another video I'll go over all of the cool features for mappers and modders, but now it's time to get into the fixes and changes that you'll experience as a player. Brought back are the broken features from the WAN retail version of Half-Life, like View Roll, View Model Tilt, and the Egon and Gluon gun beam colors. The incorrect MP5 spread for single player has been fixed. The double Glock impacts have been fixed, and because of the new sound and music system implemented by Solokiller, the soundtrack music now continues to play between maps, just as Gaben intended. And then everyone's favorite mechanic, the chainsaw crowbar that was introduced in the Steam version of Half-Life, has unfortunately been fixed. But fear not, due to popular request, this mechanic is now actually optional as a skill setting. Now, I love this feature, and I am 100% gonna make it enabled. And if you're an Impulse 101 enjoyer such as myself, you may appreciate the fact that all suit and armor is fully filled the first time you execute Impulse 101. Now, I might miss spamming the command and hearing all the ammo fill up, but now you start with a full MP5 magazine at least, and of course, you get the Opposing Force weapons. Some of you may have seen the Morpheus Black video that showcases the broken feature of scientists commenting on dead carcasses. Well, that is brought back in this mod. And in the same realm of dead carcasses, Solokiller has also implemented new commands to change the amount of gibs generated, as well as their velocity when generated. So, for example, you can crank these numbers way up, which is what I'm going to do, and gibs just go flying. I think that is the proper way to play Half-Life. Now, one thing that won't be happening in this mod, though, is speedrunning. This mod actually fixes lots of the tricks that speedrunners have used in their runs. You can no longer use the save load trick to spawn infinite amounts of weapons on a dying monster, and you can no longer use monsters while they're in a sequence to interrupt them. Solokiller also implemented new cheat CVARs, primarily used for testing, but one in particular I want to show you is the jetpack cheat. This is actually the most fun I've had playing Half-Life in a long time. Holding jump will propel you into the air, and holding forward while still holding jump will let you soar. This is so fun to use, and of course works in each campaign. Now, is this or is this not possibly the best Half-Life mod ever created? If you're interested in playing this, you can currently go download the first release candidate and start playing. That's what I have been featuring in this video. You do need Opposing Force and Blue Shift installed to install this, as it takes the assets from them via scripts and upgrades the maps to be compatible with the Unified SDK. Oh, and in those scripts are also bug fixes inside the map. So entities that have like broken sequences, or maybe you get soft locked, a lot of those have been fixed as well. If you're a modder and want to utilize this, I would wait for an official 1.0 release to make sure you're on a stable build, as Solokiller highly urges this, but you can at least start experimenting. And that's it for now. I really just wanted to introduce two people who have never heard of this mod to this mod, because I think it is an awesome invention. Solokiller has put in so many hours, so much work to this mod, and with the help of the whole Half-Life community. He's had a few people that have also made some big contributions to this, so we have to thank the community as a whole. But in my next video, I will be going much further into the depth into the new JSON systems, as well as new features and entities implemented for mapmakers.